So, hello Marjani, you're back here at the Alloy Studios.
After a year, I got okay with saying what it is that I was actually doing, and a little more intentional about my language and about the unearthing of those stories, both those stories in my surrounding environment, living in New York City, but also the stories in my community as an African American woman, and some of the stigma around it, but also some of the complexity and the way that it interacts with our social, when I say our, I mean as Americans, with our social, political, and economic inequities. And I work in partnership with my husband, Everett Saunders.
Everett, can you tell us more about that and why it's so important?
Well, it's a different experience for theater, I think, if we are able to execute it the way it's laid out to be. I think it'll actually give the audience a more of an in-depth perception of just being able to connect more with the piece, and just have a different experience with the piece itself. 3D audio is something that I forget how I got introduced to it, but I got wind of it. I looked at it, I researched a little bit, and I was like, wow, this actually be kind of cool to present this with being here. We did being here last year, and one thing I loved about it is the sounds. There's so much sound that happens, not just in the composition, but with the dancers themselves.
Oh, we need to be having these conversations because it's not the same. Everybody doesn't get to go see their therapist, and actually that shouldn't be about a privilege. That should actually be the kind of access to health that folks can have. I need to be able to go to the doctor when I'm ready to go to the doctor. Like I'm not championing, universal health care, sort of. But I do feel like there's some basic human rights that are not a part of systems that claim to be about health and wellness, that are also not culturally competent, that don't acknowledge the environments that people are living in, and the things that are affirming to their human selves, the things that are a part of who it is that we are and how we've maintained.
I think artists have a duty to paint the picture or to say the words that the rest of the world is afraid to say. And I think it's, just being an artist itself, is that there's a certain duty and responsibility that comes along with that.
I'm wondering what the response has been and what our audience can expect at the end of this week.
I don't know. What can they expect?
Fierce.
Or what do you
Fierce
hope?
dancing.
What do you hope?
Fierce audio.
It's a hard question because we've never presented it this way before. This is completely different.
You mean in a smaller space, or what do you mean?
No, the fact that we're bringing the 3D aspect into it as well. That means bringing the audience into the stage, into the surround, into the space. Not that artists haven't done that already, but it's just, for us, it's a different way.
For you, for this piece, isn't it?
For this piece, yeah.
So,
yeah.
expectation is.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I think I hope that people feel that they get at some point a little goosebump, because to me that's the first sign that something has penetrated. It doesn't matter if they like it or if they don't like it. That to me is like a really superficial idea of how to perceive art. There's so much along that spectrum. But if they get a goosebump, then something has resonated in some way. So get a goosebump.
All right.